don't have any time for any gossip now. Eh? Yes.
Hey guys, we are back for another video. I wanted to come on here and talk about a situation that occurred yesterday. Now, I had came on here and was talking about the interview that Jeezy had with Nialong. And I still feel very strongly about what I said with regards to that interview. And what I mean is, with regards to, Jeezy not feeling loved by his mom. That I totally stick by. However, I wanted to come back on here because I was able to find some more information after the video was uploaded. Well, after this video was uploaded, I noticed that it was flagged for copyright. And I'm like, copyright? That means that obviously someone owns the video. I'm sorry, owns the interview. Now, usually when celebrities interview, unless they're going on major platforms, it usually is okay for us to play the video on our YouTube channel. So I went searching, and unfortunately, the information that I'm going to share with you at the end is totally not what I knew when I actually completed the video. So don't want to retract anything I said about Jeezy. I do feel like he's a broken individual. I definitely feel like, his mother, for some reason, he had a poor relationship with his mom, which means that he does not and cannot have a good relationship with a woman. And that is partially the reason why he has, a lot of different children with different women, because he just cannot figure this thing out, being that he did not feel loved by his mom. And not trying to rehash that. But again, originally, when I did this video, I stated that, wow, this is a good interview because guess what? Jeezy is not trying to sell his book. And he did not say one thing about his book. But that is, well, I can say after I did the video, he didn't need to sell his book because he actually owns this video. So the video that he did was a setup interview, and it was for strictly damage control, so he can change the public perception of who people are saying that he is based on how he treated his current wife of about 2 years. I think they were married for just about 2 years. And with him filing for divorce, people are basically dragging him. Well, of course, they dragged the hell out of Jeanniemai first, but people are just calling him a deadbeat. And we all know why, because he have multiple children by multiple women. So people are pretty much saying this dude never tried to make his relationship work. You would think someone with multiple children would have tried to make this work. But as you guys saw in this interview, he said he had to consider himself. And again, I understand what he's saying. However, I'm not making excuses. But what I was dealing with was the broken man. And when a man is broken, he is not going to be any good for anybody but himself. And we learned that in this interview. So, again, this was damage control. This was total damage control because he is trying to change his public perception. And marriage was part of him changing his public perception. But of course, we know it did not work. Now we saw Nialong, interview him. She strictly talked about, his upbringing, his childhood. And as we saw in this interview, she asked him about his marriage. Like, how does a man just up and file for divorce? How does that happen? In which he explained that he tried therapy. But keep in mind, this was all set up because he owns this particular video. He owns it. He is the director of this video. So he directed it, and everything that was going to be asked of him throughout this interview, he already knew. So again, I didn't know this information going into it, but I know it now. So of course I wanted to come on here and share it with you. I'm not afraid to say if I made a mistake. That's not my that's not my outlook on life. So one thing I did like about this interview, I was like, wow, this is the first time that he has actually talked about openly, really talked about his marriage, in which he didn't say much. But what he did say is that he went to therapy and therapy did not work. What that means to the public is, oh, he tried to make it work, but it didn't. So I just want everybody to know how I'm lining the chips up here. um, this was, I believe, everything he stated with regards to his upbringing. However, that is no excuse. I didn't have the perfect upbringing either. However, I still have my children. I choose not to have children by every Tom, Dick, and Harry either. So being raised wrong does not make you a gigolo. And there is no excuse for his behavior. So what I was doing is trying to let you guys see that this is a broken man. So with regards to his relationship with Jeanniemai, so Jeanniemai was feeling that it was BS as well because she actually clapped back at him. And I'm, thinking that I'm sure she clapped back because she like, this Negro is lying. And when I say lying, I'm not talking about, lying about the things that he said he went through, but by all necessary means, that is not an excuse. When you become an adult and you decide to have children, that is exactly what you do. You take care of your children, you be a parent. By divorcing his wife just means that now his child is in two separate households. And I mean, in somewhat he does escape responsibility because chances are the child won't live with him, or if the child is with her or with him, it's kind of like a shared situation, which is interesting that he would want shared custody of this child, although he had other children. So it just makes you wonder, is he trying to avoid paying any amount of child support? That's just something to think about. Well, Jeanniemai, again, she did take to her Instagram, and this is what she had to say. Jeanniemai posted this nice picture of her and her daughter Monica. There was a song on it. I just don't recall what the song was. Actually, here it is right here. Let me turn it down. I'm sorry. But this particular picture she posted on her social media page. And basically what she said is, my greatest accomplishment in life will be who I raise. That was a direct shot at Jeezy. Again, this was a great interview. He talked about himself. He spoke about his children a little bit. But at the end of the day, there is nobody in life that has not went through anything. Mothers go through shit every single day. I mean, you find some that abandon their kids, but the majority of them are raising their kids with all of their mental health issues that they're juggling. Maybe the kids have some. You still got to work. You still have to pay bills. So this is by no means an excuse for him to not do what he's supposed to do as a father. But I do believe because of his way of thinking and possibly slight narcissism, that he doesn't see the world the way that he should, because it seems like in a lot of ways that he makes excuses for his behavior. And I think he mentioned something about not being a cheater. That part, I mean, I didn't speak about because, I mean, is he trying to say that he never cheated? I mean, what is he saying? That's kind of irrelevant for somebody that has as many children by different women, right? So this is the part that I really want to get into, guys. This last one right here. I originally told you that Jeezy directed that interview. So here we go right here. Executive producer, director, producer, whatever. Jeezy Jenkins. So what that means is, in that interview that we saw with Nialong, He knew what was going to happen when it was going to happen. So that's not an authentic interview. Yes, I get it. All of the things that he went through it. But an authentic interview is when you sit down with somebody, not knowing what they're going to ask you, and you answer genuinely. That did not happen in this interview. So, unfortunately, I have to change what I previously thought because do I think this interview was authentic? I'm gonna have to say no. Do I think he lied? I don't think he lied about some things, but I do believe this interview was definitely a damage control interview so that he can change his public perception. And the reason why is because he benefited financially from this interview. And generally, when celebrities sit down to be interviewed, they're not benefiting only to tell their story. So in this situation, he was able to tell a story, but the authenticity of the story was to sway public opinion. Okay, so I wanted to come back on here and let you guys know that again. I believe what happened to him when he grew up is facts, but this is also facts too. A lot of stuff happened to me when I grew up. I still have to be a parent. I can't run off on my kids. I can't have two, three, four, five baby daddies. Well, maybe two. Two. I should have did two, but anyways, all of the baby daddies, not getting along with your kids and just not being there for your children. Though that is not, I cannot say I went through this, so therefore I'm gonna do this. I have to deal with my trauma and still take care of other people and be a parent to somebody else. Although maybe, just maybe, I felt like I was not always being able to be a child and be parented and no and I'm sorry, maybe I was not always able to be a child and get the parenting that I needed. Now, I'm not speaking of my situation personally, but I'm saying in terms of Jeezy, this is not an excuse for his behavior. And I just wanted to come on here and let you guys know that I do have new information now. And I know, originally I said, hey, he's not benefiting, he's not trying to sell his book. Well, he didn't need to try to sell his book because he has over 1 million views on this interview. So he made nice money. And that's not even to say how many times it was shared from those million views. So again, I don't believe this interview was authentic at all. And I wanted to let you guys know that. So please let me know what you guys think in the comments and let me know what you think about Jeezy. Do you feel like he is doing damage control? Do you feel like he is trying to sway public opinion so that people can like him? Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And as always, I will catch you all in the next video.